Hi friends. Gonna wait till a few people hop in here. Hey Sada. Yay! Honestly, now that I think about it, I should have shared it in the group. Completely didn't think about that. I'm just trying to give other people some time to join in. So what you been up to, Sunny? Hey Ebs. All right. So I got my sketch all ready. I have my color scheme ready. Essentially what we're painting today is a window. I have some references here. What I do is I try to get like a few different references and then find something in the middle, come up with my own idea, take a little bit from each. So I am using a technique that I learned from Laurel Hart on YouTube. And essentially she does like an underpainting and she'll use what she calls a high key or low key color palette. Like really bright colors would be high key and like more muted colors would be low key. We know how I like bright colors, so this is going to be high key. And essentially I'm getting my 3 primary colors ready to go. Right here I've got nickel azul yellow, and essentially it's like a golden, it's like a, when you think of the color of the sun, it's a golden color. Like it looks a little mustard here when it's thick, but when it's watered down, it will come out to a really mellow yellow. Like it has good range on color. Then I have quinacridone rose for my red. Usually I use permanent alizarin crimson, which is more like a cool primary red. I don't really use warm reds that much. I do have 2. I have a scarlet and a carmine, but I think I just prefer cool colors. And then for our blue, we're going to use manganese blue, which is a cool blue leaning. So I've got a warm yellow, a cool red, and a cool blue. And that's gonna be for our underpainting. That wasn't your fault, Sada. That was my fault because I was trying to get some people into the broadcast. Okay. So we've got our sketch here. Got my references. So I'm doing like a combination of these three. I have a big one here too. We'll see if I do anything along the lines of this one. But I think this will work. Maybe even use some of this floral here. I definitely want to use these florals, and I have a variation of this window. And we'll see how we go about that. All right. So lately I've been using these squirrel brushes that I got from Amazon. Honestly, I don't even remember what their brand is because it's like washed off. But they are currently like my favorite brushes to use. Juju's watching with me. There, I keep getting booted. Juju's watching. Can't stay long, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, okay. Is it really exciting, or are you being sarcastic? I know I'm a little boring in the beginning. I think up here, I'm gonna use this blue. And then I'm gonna give it some space and then come in with the yellow. Gonna take some of this rose. In there. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Facebook doesn't like how I rotate my phone, even though I have the rotation off. Okay. Bring this a little closer. Now let's get some more of this blue in here. I don't want them to really make a green, which is why I'm trying to give them a little space. So that color that I just used, I took the red and the blue and I blended them together. And then I'm going to kind of do that again right here. and then come down into the yellow. Just gonna get up some of that yellow. Got into my window frame. There we go. Hi, Juju. Okay, so then under here, we're gonna make this purple. And essentially, I'm trying to avoid the purple and the yellow mixing, because when you get purple and yellow together, it makes brown. That's why I put a gap there. So I rather it mix with the blue, if it's gonna mix with anything. Put some of that red in there. I thought this was gonna take me a lot longer. This underpainting is like already almost done. All right. Underpainting almost done. Hi, Titi. Not sure if you know, Ti, but on my website on Redbubble, I have quite a few paintings up for sale, and it doesn't have to be where you put it, a painting on your wall. I sell like cosmetics bags, posters, pillows, blankets, t-shirts, stuff like that. The link should be in my About section on my Facebook page, on my on Chromantic Creations. It's also on my Instagram. So yeah, so this is what the outside of the window looks like. So now we're gonna do like the window panes and stuff. So I'm gonna take a very light wash of this blue. That's a little too light. So now I'm doing like the wooden frame. Love you too. And this is just to keep in mind that white, so these window panes are meant to be white, but white is never really white. There's like always color in it somewhere. All right. So now we've got the frame of the panes. So now we're gonna do the glass itself. Color blew out a little more than I wanted it to. And I'll go in and darken this more when we do like the other layers, because this is just the first layer. This is the underpainting. So lately I've been binge watching True Blood, which is not a new show at all, but I've been told that I would like it. So I started watching it. I love it. And I'm almost done with it, so I'm gonna need something else to watch. What shows do you guys suggest? I like action, mystery. I don't like shows that are like super serious without something else. True Blood, yes, is a vampire show. Okay, so we've got the little ones done up top. Hey, Holly. Okay. So now for the main window, I'm not going to have it as dark. I want there definitely to be a difference between the window pane and the window, but I don't want it to be like super dark. Okay, we're gonna kind of stop around there. And then here is gonna be, that was way too dark. There we go. I grabbed a smaller brush. So you see where we're getting at over here? Our painting is starting to form, and then you know, I'm just going to take the alizarin crimson. So I was using the rose before, but I just, right here, I want to use a different color. It is a darker cool red. There we go. I just wanted to get in there with it. There we go. All right, so this part here has to dry. So we're going to concentrate on another part. So I don't know if you can see, but I have aspects of this window. I have the shadows under here from this painting. And then up here, I have this upper area right here. So we're gonna get into that and start making that some sort of florals. All right, so now that the underpainting has been worked on, we can start making some like secondary colors and like, you know. So now we can do like the greens and oranges and stuff. I'm making a green. It's like a light green, it's not very dark at all. But I'm just taking it where I have the blue. How long does it take me to sketch it out before I start? It depends how complicated the sketch is. So for this specific one, it did not take me long. It honestly took me longer to figure out what I was gonna paint. So it took me maybe 45 minutes to find the references that I wanted. Honestly, it took me longer than that because I couldn't decide what I wanted to paint. So I took like 2-3 hours to decide what I wanted to paint. Then once I decided what I wanted to paint, it took me about 45 minutes to find the references that I wanted. And then the actual sketch itself, that probably took me, the rough sketch took me like 2 minutes, but then like I went in and made sure like all the lines were straight and stuff like that, and I didn't have like ultra crooked lines. So all together, it probably took me about 10-15 to be happy with it. I'd say 10. And I took my time. So I have tried to paint this subject before a couple of times, and I was not very happy with the outcome. So I'm glad that this is turning out the way it is so far. Okay, so down here is a little more dry. So gonna go in and work a little bit on this shadow. Right there. So that's kind of like where the wall meets the floor. And I'm okay with the colors mixing there. I'm not gonna lie, like, so sometimes when I get to this part, I start to feel a little stuck, like not sure where I want to go with it after that. I'm gonna put in a little shadow here. Okay. I'm imagining that somewhere outside of our view, there is a tree of some sort. And in that, there's a tree, like standing on the side. But there's also like a vine on the wall. So this is the vine on the wall and it blossoming. And then the tree is casting these shadows up here over the window pane and making it so that the light is kind of fragmenting in here. It's not coming in steady. Excuse me. All right, I'm trying to figure out what's dry and what's wet. I'm gonna go in with some greens here. Yeah, so what have you been watching? What have you been eating? I haven't had the best of appetite lately. Like, I'm hungry, but I'm not enjoying what I'm eating. I'm really liking how this is coming out right now. And here, eating avocado. I love me some avocado. Oh my God. Some avocado with some tostones. Honestly, the other day, what I was craving, avocado, tostones, some white rice, and a fried egg. That was exactly what I was craving. I was also craving churrasco, but I was fairly confident that I wasn't going to get any, so I quickly threw that out of my mind. Putting in a little of the yellow. I'm like currently not even looking exactly at my references, so right now I'm winging it. Maybe there's some yellow flowers. Maybe some of this is the highlight of the green. Sorry. I like hospital food. We don't have to talk about food. I'm making myself hungry. And nothing tastes good these days. Okay. Our pale colors are done. I have to start deepening this and getting the values in. So let's make a darker green. Okay. This green is a little darker. Okay. I'm deepening this even further. I want to give it a chance to blend just a little bit in there. Yeah, she really doesn't like cold food. I like cold food. Okay. So now I'm going to go in a little deeper with the rose color, and I switched my brush just to be a little more intentional where I put color. It is starting to come to life. You know, I try all the time to use stiffer brushes, and I own them, and I used to like them. Until I got this brush, man, like this line of brushes, I don't want to use anything else. It's blending it out a bit. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can get So there's the cool red in there. This is a little bit of the warm red. I just want it to look like there's different clusters of flowers. All right, I'm gonna put a little more of this yellow. Just need another color to pull on through. All right. I feel like the flowers are done. I'm going to take some of the manganese blue and some of the alizarin crimson. All right, and then I feel like this box is wooden or clay. And with some of these colors I chose beforehand, and some of these I'm just winging it. So like, I chose the underpainting, and then as you paint a while, you get an idea of color theory and what colors go well with each other. So that I can get more intuitive. Okay, so we did the box. I'm happy with the box. I don't want to do anything else to that. Now up here, we let this dry. So I'm gonna go in with those flowers. We've got some blue in here. So I am going to make some shadows in there. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of a deeper red. I'm purposely letting this bleed into each other. You want that flower box in your window? That was a little bit too much water. There we go. We fixed it. So some things you want to keep in mind. Purple and yellow will make brown. Red and green will make brown. So you have to be careful not to mix those, which is why I let the green dry first and then came in with the red. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that to dry. I just tried to go in with it too wet. Okay. Just trying to get my brush to a point. Oh, sorry. So I'm trying to be careful not to touch the red. Blend this out just a little bit. There we go. All right. So now I feel like I need to deepen this a little bit. So this way that the white, white pane, the frame pops out a little more. And I'm gonna let there be some shadows. And highlights and reflections. Now I'm thinking about lunch. All right. So then again over here. Made that line a little imperfect, that's okay. There we go. Now that I've darkened those, I'm going to darken these little ones up here too. Using the smaller brush. Got it to a point. Excuse me. All right. And then after doing this, we'll deepen those shadows again, so that you bring the wood from the frame forward and the glass of the panes back. And these lines don't have to be like super perfect. Like the human eye fills in the gaps. As long as you strongly suggest something, the shape of something, your brain fills in the rest. Okay. And I'm letting it get lighter and lighter, which is why I'm not dipping into too much paint as we go. Because as we get away from that tree on this side that we can't see, as we get away from it, these shadows won't be as severe, won't be as stark. That went a little bit too deep there. There we go. All right. Okay. Happy with that. Very happy with that. I think we're almost done here. Okay, so I'm going to take it's kind of like a mustard color. For this wall. I'm not going to make it perfect. Because remember, what we painted earlier was the underpainting. Okay. I'm making sure not to lose these shadows in the brightness. Ooh. Recording. Well, live. They can hear you. They can hear you.
Hi, live. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
So what are you going for right now? What is all that? Bushes?
No, this is the color of the wall.
Oh, okay. How can you be so messy with watercolor and it still look good?
That's what makes it watercolor.
So pretty.
Just making sure not to lose our values here. Okay. Hello again. Okay, so this is where the wall hits the ground. So I just need there to be some sort of shadow here. All right. So there we have it, friends. It's all done. I'm gonna dry it real quick and then we'll take the tape off, okay? Hello there, Sarah. Okay. Now we're gonna peel off the tape and take it off of the watercolor block. It's gonna have a nice clean and white border. This is the paper I use. This is a watercolor block. So here, the paper is gummed down on all sides, you see? And then on the other side, there is a spot where you put your palette knife to peel off the top paper. This way, while you're painting, your paper always stays stretched, so I didn't have to worry about it warping. And I only put the masking tape so that I have a border. It has nothing to do with keeping the paper still. Okay. All right, so like I was saying, up here, we're gonna take our palette knife and remove it off the block. I have a plastic palette knife right here. You see the top piece of paper? That's the one our painting is on. Slide it on through. Peel it off. So now this top paper is free, and the next clean sheet of paper is below for me. It's ready for me to start painting on it if I wanted to. And then today, I believe, is the 4th. If it's not, well, I mean, it's about to be now. I take my marker. These are my Micron fine liner pens. They're archival, so it won't fade over time. Signed and dated right there on the bottom, and anyone who's interested in this one can purchase it. It is for sale. All right, thank you, friends. You watched that from beginning to end. I did the sketch off camera, but the underpainting and everything else you guys saw. That is a finished painting. Thank you. Until next time.